Just in a few tests, we should be live. The audio test, let me know if you can hear me okay. Is it a bit loud? Is it a bit quiet? Is it spot on? Is it popping? Just let me know. And we'll get on with this live review of this David Icke documentary. So if you're watching me live, thank you very much for joining me. If you're watching on the replay, big up the replay crew, then thank you, and please hit the like. Right, we can get the comments up now. We can make them big. We can make the font big. We can make the font wide. Look at this. Look at this. Okay. How are we all doing? We've got 13 watching. Apologies why I was late. Apologies for that. I had to walk my dog. You know, these things happen. I'd rather be a little bit late and walk George than have to bugger off halfway through like I did last time and walk him. Let me know what's the audio like, please. My sound engineer is just in the other room. He's not here. So when he comes in, please let me know how the audio is. You guys let me know what you think. And then we will get on with this shortly. We're just going to let a few more people come in. We're going to say a quick hello. We've got Yvonne. Hello, Yvonne. Hello, Hopper Stoppers. Hello, Space Cat. I was just thinking about you. I want to message you. See how you doing. Carlos, how you doing? Bad Gambler. Bridget Blaine. It's been a while. I know, Jenna. We do some. I did say I was going to be live this week, didn't I? Hi, Bev. I do want to get live more. Like I say, I've had a horrendous flu all over Christmas. Just starting to get right, and I'm not right, but I'm better than I was. George, hang on a sec. George. Okay, sorry about that. Hello, Kaz. How you doing, Bev? So yeah, I want to try and get on to do regular streams, one a week on here, one a week on at least one a week, maybe two on the Penny for Your Thoughts channel. And I'm not sure about Penny Bunny because that's going to be more outdoorsy stuff. When the weather's better, then yeah. Right then. Okay, did you wear a mask? Did I, Hella's like? I've never wore a mask, never will. And not unless I want to, unless I'm doing some painting or something. Anyway, right, okay. Hello, that's Bad Gambler again, isn't it? Right, I won't speak politics with you because I don't want to do it on this channel. But I will say that I disagree with you. But that's okay. We can do that over here because we're not woke morons. Hi, Rose Rag. Hello, Nonya Texas. How you doing? Welcome, everybody. Good to see you. Rose Rag, you did tell me who you were, didn't you? Are you somebody else who's got a different channel? Right, if you're coming in, God, that's not a very kind image of Icke, is it? Oh, blimey, look. If you're coming in to... Oh, audio. How's the audio? Let me know. How's the audio? Just asking my sound engineer to do an audio check. I need to get it off that because it's freaky. Okay, so we're going to get off in this in a moment, but before we do, this is probably going to be a two-parter because it's an hour and a half documentary. Mike is fine, says Space Cat. Audio is sound, it's good. It's okay to disagree. It sure is. I just want to add, I don't want to do politics on this channel. I really don't, because people come here from all over the world and they don't even understand UK politics, which is fine. And they don't want to. Politics is banned on this channel, but I just want to add, I think Generic was a brilliant coup. Okay. So how are we not? Okay. So we've got Jenna here. Keep coming in, guys. I'll tell you something now. This new Sony Chromebook is an absolute... It is disturbing, and I just want to add, actually, you've just reminded me something, darling. I've only watched half of it, and this isn't, okay, what I would call a watch party. All right, I'm going to be pausing it. I am going to be reviewing it. I'm just going to change it to 18. Hang on a minute. Shit, what have I just pressed? Swear to God, honestly. You can tell that I never use this. I never use laptops apart from streaming. That's why I'm annoyed. The last one didn't last very long. Hang on. Oh, I use my phone for absolutely everything. Everything. Make my content, everything. Right, okay. Let's put this back on. 18 plus only. Okay, this is quite a disturbing stream. Okay, why has that done that now? Sake. Oh, I don't know what I've just done. Okay, it is. I went and watched it after I saw you put it up. Yeah, you shouldn't have watched it first. You should have waited for me. Now, this is really disturbing stuff, okay? Now, David Icke, even a year ago, this would not have been on. I think they want some more. Hang on, I think they want some more. Could you do some more chops? And I'll get them some more tomorrow. Just do them some more. Look at them, they both want some more. Is that okay? No? So basically, I started watching this. I've watched about half. I'm going to do this in 2 halves because the video is an hour and a half long, and I'm going to be pausing it, okay? Now, it's not my content, so we can only use other people's content if we use it for review and criticism and you know, opinion and so on. So I will be pausing it. If you want to go and watch the entire documentary after, you know, without my opinion, then you can do. I'm going to pop the link in now. So if you want to go and watch the documentary, it will be in the description box as well. So if you want to go and, you know, check it out after, if you watch on the replay, again, big up the replay crew, go and watch this after in full. In your own time, you can pause it and whatnot and give your own thoughts. But I am going to be pausing this, guys, because it's obviously not my content. Secondly, it is 18 plus, guys. I haven't restricted the stream. Hello, Landy. I haven't restricted, it's Nanny, isn't it? I haven't restricted the stream purely because it will cut out a lot of people. If I restrict this stream, not many people will be able to watch it live. YouTube may restrict it themselves. I don't know. They haven't restricted the original, but you know YouTube don't really like us very much over here. So we're going to start this. Just a warning, it is disturbing, okay? There is some things in there that are fake news, and I'm going to say this now. I'm a big hello Alan Edge. I'm a massive David Icke fan, as in he woke me up. Right. Do I agree with everything he says? No, I don't. Okay. I don't agree with everything. It's good to see you, Bridget Blaine. I've missed your love. I don't agree with everything that David Icke says. So if I am a fan. I'm going to say this now. I'm going to see him next month. I'm going to watch David Icke live. I doubt he'll let me film it, but I'll bloody well try. And I'm hopefully going to meet him as well. So I'm going to get his new book. And hopefully I'll get him to sign it for you. So I'll probably do a little video outside letting you all know I'm here, I'm an Icke girl. But yeah, I'm going to see him live next month. So tickets are all bought and everything. I'm going with 3 friends. So there you go. He's going to be live in there's about 4 or 5 different places. I won't say exactly which one. We don't know where they're going to be yet because they can't tell you until the day before. But in the northeast. So we've got, I think it's Newcastle, Hull, other places. I think they're a bit weird. You going to see them as well? Okay, right. So we're going to start this now. Again, I'm going to have to keep pausing it. I'm going to give you my opinion. But don't be upset because I will disagree with him on some things. Okay? You know, and I think that's good. I will never be an echo chamber ever. So this is Beneath the Surface. It's a full documentary. Check it out after. Sub to David Icke. This would not be on. I actually lost channels over just having a David Icke playlist a few years ago. I got them back. But for David Icke to be back on YouTube, it's a massive, massive thing. And it's not just David Icke. UNN got back on YouTube. Loads of channels that were removed during and after the COVID scam have been put back. So there is a tide turning, guys, okay?
The Grey Pope, which some believe to be the true ruling power in the Vatican.
Humans emitting a MAC address.
All of them had Bluetooth signals.
I've never seen it before.
Queuing up to transition their children.
This is the ultimate suicide cult.
What if the symbols around us every day aren't just ornamental?
We lost 1,000 years of history.
What if they're instruction?
That state of awareness is not manipulatable.
innocence, purity, vibrant, trusting,
Hey Rach, how you doing,
vulnerable
darling?
yet powerful. True essence. For your healed inner child can help heal all children.
Yeah, that was a bit of an intro, wasn't it there? Right, okay, so this is the document.
A 12-year-old boy is on his summer break. He's just finished elementary school . And after the summer he'll be starting high school. He's wondering what to do with this day and decides to head to the arcade, one of his favorite spots.
Sorry guys, I think I'd accidentally hit the mute button. Hello, hi Steve. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to be giving you like review as we're ongoing. Like I'm going to be stopping and starting because I want to give my opinion and also for fair use and whatever. But it's going to be in 2 parts. So we're going to do 45 minutes of it today because with my pausing, that'll take us to about an hour and a half, an hour and 15, sorry. Then we'll do part 2 probably Sunday. It might be tomorrow night. Just bear with me while I just check what's happening. It might be tomorrow actually. We'll try and do it together. So it'll be tomorrow or Sunday. I'm not sure if I'm out Sunday night. I don't think we're going out now. So I think I'll be doing it tomorrow. there are some things that I don't agree with with David Icke. Okay, this isn't an echo chamber. Everyone is entitled to everyone's opinion. Some things I think he's wrong on. A lot of things he's right on. I say he woke me up originally. I've got a lot of respect for him, and I say I'm going to see him live. I'm going to try and talk to him. But at the end of the 2 parts, I'll give a full rundown of my thoughts. If I see fake news in this, which there is some fake news in this that has been debunked, I will call it out, okay? Just saying, so. Exactly, Space Cat, my lovely. It's good to disagree and debate. Yeah, it's healthy. See, I'm not paid. I'm not bought or anything, you know? I give my own opinion. Too many YouTubers now, they've got allegiances with certain people and certain sides, and they will never go against the grain. I will. I don't care who it is. I will ask questions. Right, okay.
He's a handsome boy with delicate features. Friends describe him as quiet, sensitive and introverted. His parents got divorced when he was young, and classmates claim that things at home haven't been easy for him. Nevertheless, he is still a good student. But then, he disappears.
I'm an investigative journalist. I've been working under the pseudonym of Alastair. I've been investigating the power shift that is taking place right now, all sorts of forms of power abuse, and particularly organized sexual abuse of children. I've been investigating this for over 11 years.
I'm Steve van Herwegen. I'm a Belgian psychologist. I'm experienced in trauma, psychotrauma. I worked for 25 years in different types and fields of mental care. I was always intrigued by the dark and the dark tunnels in life to find the light. Because in the end, that's what always drives me, the truth, and the truth lies behind the darkness. I recommend that to everyone to not be afraid of the dark.
Hi, Stephen.
I'm very sensitive to all types of violence.
How's the audio? Just letting you know. Can you hear him okay? Can you hear that end as well as me if I have to stop? Just let me know. How's everything? You know, because I don't have, there's only me and Al when he pops in and remembers to tell me, Gary! Oh my goodness, Gary's back. I'm going to give Gary a spanner if it's the OG. Is the audio okay? Right, this is a really good documentary. Okay, it starts off a bit boring, but it's really good. We've got some, I haven't watched it all yet, but we've got some Virginia Dufresne here as well, talking about egg stain and so on. It's really good. Tony Dixon, he has been asked several times about the ball earth and the flat earth, and he won't answer. So, but again, I don't want to give too much away. My full rundown will be at the second part. I'll give a full opinion, but I will be stopping and starting, like I say. But does it sound okay? Yeah. Who else has come in? We've got Nicola's in as well, and Jane and Stephen. Audio's okay. All right.
It's all types of aggression, all types of abuse. Why? What motivates people to do harm? How can we learn from that, and how can we heal as an individual and as a collective? The oath of Hippocrates, primum non nocere, first do no harm. I think that's a very important principle.
I'm David Icke, and I've been researching, investigating mind control techniques, satanic ritual abuse, and child abuse in general by the elite, in quotes, since the mid-1990s. And I've done this both in the United States, North America in general, Europe,
and around the world. And the same story emerges wherever you look.
I often get the question why I want to dive into this very difficult topic of organized child abuse, but it is about the children. And why wouldn't we be worried that influential people are involved and that there are blackmail operations and that policymakers might be mind controlled? For me, it's not the question why I do what I do, but why are not more people standing up? I've talked to dozens and dozens of survivors and victims of organized abuse. For instance, someone that was used as a child sex slave in the village or as a sex slave in an elite pedophile network, a doctor that stumbled upon a family where the children were involved in a local network. For instance, therapists that treat people that have been severely abused. Children that have been placed in a family with a pedophile knowingly and willingly by youth care, child protection services. It gave me a great insight in what happens behind the scene and how these networks operate, and also how it affects the people that had to endure this kind of abuse.
When you first start to grasp the nature and the extreme nature of what is happening to children, and how what we call wrongly the elite in the world, in country after country, are the perpetrators of this, then you can immediately respond by putting the hand up and saying, can't be happening, too extreme, nothing, no one is as easy.
Just gonna stop it there because I have to, but I also want to just chime in. Do you guys remember the Cook report with Roger Cook? I think he was a Brummie, wasn't he, as well? I'm sure he was from Sutton Coldfield. Do you remember I'm trying to find those lost episodes. If anyone knows, if anyone's got a copy of the Cook report when he covered Satanism in the Church of England, do you guys remember this? He was never seen again. Not on here, Jane. I've turned them off, Jane. I've turned memberships off on here a few months ago. I've only got them for 99p on the new one and £2.99 a penny, but I've reduced them all across the board. So because I've reduced them, I might put them back on here because they still work. Even if I put them back on 99p, they're still really cheap. But yeah, the Cook report, Roger Cook, he actually covered the Satanism in, I think it was the Church of England. I don't even think it was the Catholic Church. And he disappeared. I don't think he's dead. But did you know, and this is a true fact, that David Cameron was actually in charge of the, Granada Television. He was a manager there back in the 90s. And all of these tapes were kept in this one storage facility. And ironically, all of these tapes from Granada Television, which was ITV back then, Channel 3, whatever you want to call it, wasn't called ITV then, I don't think, was destroyed in a fire. They got rid of them all. So Colton, yeah, it was Granada before Colton. Because I was from it was a Midlands thing, because I'm obviously from Birmingham. It does look weird there, but for those of you that think David Icke looks really weird, and he does, he's got rheumatoid arthritis. That's why he looks like this. But yeah, so if anybody can find those episodes of the Cook report, that would be amazing, because Roger Cook was a really good investigative journalist, and they don't like that, do they? They don't like that. And I'm sure he's still alive, but we can do some research. But can you imagine if we could find those tapes? He uncovered so much, that man did. Right, we'll continue.
Evil as it would take to do what you're claiming.
The network is spread out, more elaborate than people expect. There are local networks, and anyone can be involved, really. It can be the shoemaker around the corner or the teacher in the school.
It took a lot of people involved. It took doctors, psychiatrists, gynecologists, dentists. All these people knew what was going on, hairstylists. I mean, the list goes on. I could keep going on and on and on. Drivers, chauffeurs, butlers, housemaids. It took all of these people turning a blind eye.
On a local level, often there are a few gatekeepers. For instance, the mayor might be involved, or someone within the police department, or the...
Okay, so we've got Virginia Giuffre now. That poor woman, we know was killed. We know. Yeah, the reason why he's got his hands and that like that is because he has rheumatoid arthritis, guys. It's a type of arthritis that the immune system attacks the joints. It's like Crohn's disease, but where instead of it attacking the intestines, it attacks the joints. So the immune system believes that there's baddies in there and it attacks them. It's not like osteoarthritis, which is what I've got. So he does have rheumatoid arthritis. So his joints, his hands, is everywhere. He's in his face as well will be gaunt. So he does have that. He's had it for years. So I will say that about him. I don't judge him because I know that, you know, he does have this condition. But yeah, this is Virginia Giuffre. And this is the irony. We covered this on this channel when she had that near-miss car accident. And we said she's going to be next. And then she was next. I do not believe she killed herself. I think it's utterly disgusting that nobody in the media anywhere is questioning this. They said that she committed suicide within an hour of finding her body, without a post-mortem. There's no way that that lady killed herself. Anyway, here she is.
Headmaster of a school.
There's more chance of Dr. David Kelly killing himself than Virginia Giuffre. You know how I feel about that one.
A primary care physician. But these local networks, they are connected to a national network. And then the national networks are connected to a global network. In the end, it is a global network. When you deal with psychopaths, they have a tendency to sort of climb up the ladder because they have no compassion, they have no empathy, they have no boundaries in their behavior. So typically within the networks where there's sadistic organized abuse involved, you find a lot of psychopaths that are often in influential positions of society.
The first time when we ever done it to a papa, the first time when we would have done it.
Right, what you're seeing here is the Hampstead hoax. Now this has been debunked. Okay, I want to put this out there before I play this. I'm not gonna cut this bit out because it's part of the documentary. This is one of the Cook Report episodes. What, the Hampstead children? Really? Are you sure about that? I didn't know that. That is really interesting, Nicola. Thank you. Now, this has been debunked. Now, has it been debunked because it's real and the mainstream media have debunked it? I don't know. But all I know is that apparently this Hampstead children has been debunked. Okay? It's something to do with the mum and the dad, the parents, the mom... The dad had them and it's something like that. They were arguing with each other and the children went with one of the parents and then they said that the parent that had them made the children tell the other parent these things so that they wouldn't have to go back there. I don't know. Hi, Nikki. I hope Rose is okay. I can't click any links at the moment, but I'll look after Nicola, darling. So there you go. So as far as I'm aware, officially, the Hampstead children has been debunked, okay? But and the thing is, David Icke knows this has been debunked. All right. So even if, yeah, look, that's it. The father was deemed innocent by the courts. Okay, it was the father that was supposed to be doing it, and they said that the mother made it up or something like that. Now, whether this is real and it's being debunked because they're trying to hide it, or whether this was just made up, I don't know. I have got all the original tapes. I wouldn't play them, but it's just in here. I do believe that what David Icke should have done with this is actually put a little disclaimer up saying, officially, this is debunked, make up your own mind. Because that's what I'm going to say. All right, disclaimer. Officially, this Hampstead case was deemed fake. Okay? I think you're right, Nicola. I think this was the Roger Cook report. It's coming back. So, hi Lee. So, make up your own mind. Okay? But legally, and we've got to be really careful. Legally, this is fake.
We had feared so much.
When you did what?
When you killed a baby, the first time.
You killed the babies?
Yes.
Everything that happened on the Lolita Express and his other planes was the same thing that happened in his bedrooms and the massage rooms, on the beach, wherever we were. The abuse did not stop because we're in the air. 95% of the time, there was always sex involved. Jeffrey couldn't take a 2-hour flight without having to ejaculate. Like, that's how sick this man was.
How did you live every day? How did you get on board that plane? How did you live knowing you're going off to New York or to the island or to wherever you were about to be trafficked to? You must have been a ball of dread and anxiety.
I was.
Throughout my childhood, I was a victim of Australia's VIP child sex trafficking ring. For example, I was prostituted to pedophile parties at Parliament House, Canberra, and to an international leader at Fairbairn Military Airport. The people involved in this elite pedophile ring included high-ranking politicians, police and judiciary.
A lot of people are born into these networks. They come from a family that have been involved for generations, so they had really no choice in the beginning of their lives, whether they were involved or not. Other people were lured in. Children that are most vulnerable, they typically get lured in. The people that are involved are often mind controlled from a very young age, before the age of 6, because then it's most effective. And then it creates these very controllable puppets. Because of the trauma-based mind control, the mind is split off.
So now with this lady here, this is proven, okay? This is proven. MK Ultra, mind control, Monarch was the code name. It's proven fact, okay? There was a release, I think it was in the late 90s or the early 2000s, of the FBI papers that they were up to it in the 70s. Now, they say it stopped. I don't believe that. I think the reason why they say it stopped is because they know that social media is there now, so that they have to, what they were getting away with back then, they wouldn't get away with now, because it just takes one whistleblower and they don't write it on a bit of paper now. They put it all over social media. So a lot of these projects went underground that were happening more openly, but there was no camera phones and all these, there was no social media, so they could get away with it. So I don't really believe they stopped it, but officially it was stopped. So what this lady's talking about is real. They would, sit children down in front of the most horrendous things, and adults, and desensitize them to the most horrific acts. They would desensitize them. We have covered it before, and I will cover it again, MK Ultra. So that is real. Right, the air fryer's going off now, and Al's just gone out. So if you hear some beeping in the background, there's nothing I can do about it right now, unfortunately. Right, let's continue.
So there are parts of the personality that can be switched on and off at will. So the loyalty is forced upon them. If you're not loyal, the punishments are really severe. In order to prove your loyalty, you have to participate in the crimes.
Maar er kwam een moment Toen werd ik dus uitgenodigd, daarom vertel ik dit ook, om mee te gaan doen aan offers in het buitenland. Dat was het breekpunt. Kinderen.
Oké. Dat werd je gevraagd?
Ja, ik kon het niet.
So it's not like the child is expressing its pain or fear necessarily.
Sorry, my air fryer's going nuts. No, I haven't mentioned Stranger Things, but what I am going to do on this channel as well, I'm just making time for all this, is doing some TV reviews as well of horror and stuff like that, because I've completed Stranger Things. I love Stranger Things, but I do think there's a lot of reality in there as well. But I will be doing like random pop-up horror show reviews and horror movie reviews as well on here. No, not Stranger Things. I wasn't on about that. But yeah, no, I've actually covered MK Ultra on this channel, and the Monarch, which is the butterfly. It's a type of butterfly and how it evolves and stuff. You can probably hear that in the background. I'm going to have to keep muting it until Al gets back and turns it off. It's going to keep going. Yeah, so this part of the documentary, we are talking about mind control and how they desensitised children to these sort of things. Now, again, that was real. Okay, that was proven. It was done by the FBI. I think a lot of it come over from Nazi Germany when they brought a load of these scientists over in Operation Paperclip, I think it was called. And they carried on there, which is just shocking, really. The Americans supposed to have won, and we won, and then we bring them over and continue their disgusting work in the USA. It's just absolutely disgusting. Anyway, I'm going to carry on, and we're going to listen to some more, and then I'm going to mute for a moment, so you won't hear me, just this video.
I mean, that can happen in a sadistic situation, but I think often these children are trained to be completely disconnected. And so they are trained to pretend it is okay. There's gatekeepers within the police department, within the justice department, political arena, child protection services. Most people that work there are good people. They have a good heart. They really want to make a change. But there are gatekeepers that make sure that whenever someone reports to the police and wants to prosecute their perpetrators, it doesn't go anywhere. It goes up to a level and then it's stopped. These are the stories I hear over and over again. When you realize that most perpetrators are broken people because they have been subjected to childhood trauma, they didn't deal with their childhood trauma in a responsible way by processing it and evolving into a better human. They choose the road on becoming the one in power. And there's this hole, this emptiness because of the trauma that they want to fill up. And one of the ways is to, when you abuse a child, you can sort of gain access to another realm, if you will. It's an energy transfer. It's stealing the life force energy of a child for a brief moment to feel, to forget basically what you had to endure.
You've got to imagine that you are a little child, and this is happening to you. Not once, systematically, day after day after day after day. And try walking away from that when you have, as I have, talked to these people later in life, in the United States, in Canada, in Europe, Australia, so many places, South Africa. And you realize it's true. Try walking away from that. I can't. Unfortunately, most people can.
When people are not familiar with satanic ritual abuse and they hear about blood drinking rituals, they think it's so absurd and fantastic that they think it's not true, but it actually makes a lot of sense. And we know that from historical pictures that it is something that has been done for thousands of years.
What were they doing in the ancient world? They were doing sacrifice rituals and child abuse.
Now, what you're listening to now, what David Icke's going to say now, is absolutely spot on. So people are made to believe, this, I've put viewer discretion advised because it is distressing, okay? If you can't watch it, just mute it and just watch the chat. If you don't want to, if you want to join in with the chat and whatever, just mute the audio. You don't have to listen to it or watch it. But yeah, so what David Icke's going to talk about now is when people say, oh, well, there's no way possible that, this could be happening. Just look back over history, over ancient history. Oh, the bloody air fryer's going again. Is Daddy back? Is he? They did this. You look at Indiana Jones and stuff. You got they do it in there. They're doing all these rituals and stuff. It all happened. So why do people believe that this just suddenly stopped and we became civilized? They lie. They lie. I do believe that a lot of these things still happen. I really do. Do I believe all of it? No. It's back now, but a lot of it I do believe. So what you're going to hear now, David actually talking about this ancient rituals and the gods and all that. It's really interesting stuff. I think it's something that we should dive deeper in on a separate issue, is all these ancient rituals, if you guys want. Also, I've had a couple of people asking me to put my memberships on this channel, so let me know if you want them on. I'll put a little poll up on my community tab or something. I'll try and do it during this stream, but if not, I'll do it on my community tab. So yeah, let me know, guys. Right, let's continue. The air fryer's going off like crazy.
Rituals to these gods. And why were they doing them? It was a gift to the gods, okay. So what do the gods get out of it then? Well, as you do the research into this and the dots begin to connect and you see how the picture forms, these gods feed off low vibrational human energy.
When a child is terrorized and hurt, the body produces a very high level of adrenaline. And that adrenaline, when it's oxidized, there's a compound produced that's called adrenochrome. And it has self-healing abilities. So it's basically a reaction of the body to heal itself.
Good film, this. This is Maze Runner, The Death Cure. So they tell us in movies, this is why I think it's important for me to start doing these movie reviews. Not just horror, but sci-fi as well. Well, so-called sci-fi, inverted commas. I watch a lot of TV. I watch a lot of movies and shows. I'm watching something at the moment called, it's on Netflix, NOS 4A2, I think. And it's about this horrible man that, it's actually played by, is it Cypher in Heroes, and he takes children and he uses his car. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a few years old now, but it's just come on. It's an AMC show. And hi, Lottie love. And he takes, when he takes a child, when he enters his car, his wraith, which is what the car is, it takes the child's soul. and then he takes them to this place called Christmas Land, where he keeps all the children, and they become like they become like basically like vampires. They have to eat flesh, and he goes around collecting children, and they are like, I think I'm going to do a review on that. I'm only halfway through season 2. There's only 2 seasons. It got cancelled, but I think I'm going to look at that because it's all there. When you are awake to what is happening, you see it everywhere. You'll notice in movies as well, you'll see the 33 will always pop up. There'll be room numbers 332. Literally the amount of 332s I see in movies now, and going back decades now as well, like older films as well in the 80s and 70s, you'll start to notice it. Once you look for it, you will notice it. Can't be a coincidence that so many room numbers and phone numbers have got like these certain important digits in that is important to them. But yeah, this is Maze Runner. I think this is the 3rd one, I'm not sure, where they are taking stuff from these kids.
When that blood is tapped off by someone else and consumed by another person, they get a sort of high, and it's also known to have healing capabilities, and also has a rejuvenating effect. So it's known as an elixir.
We're going in there because we need this.
Yeah.
Our city is counting on you to collect those children's screams. Without Scream, we have no power. Yes, it's dangerous work, and that's why I need you to be at your best.
Yeah, see what I mean? This is Monsters, Inc. Now, these are things you don't think about. Monsters, Inc., what do? They go in and they collect the scream. It's all there. They are telling us in these movies and in these TV shows what they're doing. And this is David Icke is spot on. Do you know, I've got documentaries that were on YouTube 8-9 years ago, maybe longer, that got removed, and I downloaded them at the time. They are so interesting. I might upload them again, because it seems to me YouTube has chilled out a lot again since Trump's got in. They're allowing, like, David Icke getting back onto YouTube is not a coincidence. You know, they're allowing more stuff to come back now. People are waking up. Was you poorly, Lottie? Honestly, everyone, I'm still not, my voice will still go croaky all the time. My voice is still quite croaky now. It'll just go. Whatever this thing was they gave us this year, I don't know what it was, but I've never seen Al so ill. I've never seen Al like that before. And Jack's still got a cough. So whatever it was, anyone that's still suffering with this virus this year, you have my full sympathy. You really do. Thank you to Lottie for the super duper chat. You can do a super duper chat. Everything on here goes towards the running costs of the extra. I've had to buy higher speed broadband to stream in 1080 and 4K videos. The running cost of the StreamYard, paying for this laptop. I've had to get a monthly payment. So if you do want to contribute to all of that keeps me going, thank you very much. I do appreciate it, but you don't have to. It's all free anyway. But you know, if you want to, you can. It's totally up to you. Anything that gets left over, as you know, goes on the animals. Okay, so we'll keep going. Come here. What do you mean, come back? Come back.
There's a whole industry built around this, and this is very well documented.
Look at this, folks.
There's a stack load of...
This is real. This is real paperwork. What do you mean, come back? Come here. Can you not hear me okay? So no, I'm just reading into this really. Hang on. So it says here, because obviously you guys probably can't see that unless you zoom in. It says Factor Therapeutics Europe, previous name Tissue Therapies Europe. Anybody wants to do a bit of research? Space Cat, you're good at this sort of thing, but I don't know if it'd be too distressing for you. Anyone here want to have a quick look at this company? So it's called, Caring is Youth. Youth is money. Money is freedom. Factor Therapies. I'm going to take a picture of this. Hold on. A screenshot. And it's in Warrington. And it says here, Combined Office Administrative Service Activities. It's dated the 5th of July 2020, New York. So they're obviously dealing with people in New York. Please find enclosed our confidential new detainee and production report as follows. And it says production of raw adren can't say the full word, per detention centre with average age. And it says list of detainees used for production, duration of custody and scheduled disposal date. A valuable source for quality research. And it's got the blood types, what I presume is a blood type. It's got A plus, or no, that can't be the blood type. It's got A plus plus. It must be how good the blood is. And it's got a price list. So your different types, it's cheaper to get lower level. So a B minus or below, the cheaper stuff is £1,100 depending on the market. Now this could be fake. This could be a fake screen. Anyone could have made that. But we need to do our own research. Don't believe everything you see. There could be parts in this documentary that is lies. Like I'm saying, I'm not showing you this and saying that all this is real. All right. Let's go down the rabbit hole. This could be a fake letter that is just a load of bollocks, but we won't know until we do our own research. So I'm going to go down the rabbit hole and see if I can find evidence of this company ever existing.
Documents that were leaked in 2020. And it's interesting because the hijacking and trafficking of children and
one of 12 pages, and then we've got the names. Look, Brittany Abbott. This says the CYN Corporation main detention centres, and it's got Brittany Abbott. It's got a date of birth, which is, this one is 2014, same age as my baby, age 6. Oh my god. Custody months 3, blood type A plus. Equality is a B minus minus. Do you know what? If this is real, origin Mexico. If this is real, this is highly, highly disturbing, folks. You know, we hear rumours, but if this is real, I've never seen this before. All we can do is try and find out if it is. Do our research.
And abusing them in a horrible way to produce this adrenochrome.
Folks. Look at it.
Is illegal, obviously.
Right, look at this. Again, this could be fake. Yeah, this CYM Corporation. If you are going to go researching on this, don't use Google, folks, all right? Use Brave, or I wouldn't even go for DuckDuckGo on this occasion. I'd go for Brave or something. Be careful what you go digging for.
But then at a certain point, that sort of makes its way into the legal medical world. So medical institutes and companies are involved. For instance, we know from documents that adrenochrome is used in products that are used for wound healing therapies. The big pharmaceutical companies just have it on their website.
AstraZeneca, right, what COVID blah blah vaccination looks like and contents of the pack. Right, hang on. Manufacturer, something, I can't read that, it's too small. I can't read it, it's just too small. You see, this is what's making me think this is fake, because it says Liverpool there. Now the last one that we've seen said Warrington. So it's actually changed. I think I've just caught them out faking stuff. Hang on. Yeah. I've got the screenshot from a moment ago with the same date and everything, the 5th of July 2020. Everything's the same, but it says Liverpool L34, I think it's a Q, I can't read Q. And the other letter, the original, says Warrington WA4. So I think that there is definitely some fakery going on in this. Now, whether David Icke knows it's fake, I don't know. But I think some of this is faked. But we'll find out. We'll go digging.
Right. So it is very well documented, maybe not always literally the blood drinking, but we know it's the most expensive and addictive drug in Hollywood. And it's very popular because it makes you look very young.
This is upsetting, guys. As I say, if it's too heavy, just mute it or turn the whole, I don't know, unless you've got premium. If you've got premium, you can just leave it running and come out of it. If it's too upsetting, don't watch it, you know. But it does need to be out there. We don't talk about this stuff, then the people that are suffering will continue suffering. Because the way I see it is, if we get distressed hearing about it, how do you think the people feel that are going through it? We can't even cope with hearing about it. You know, knowledge is key. Knowledge is power. And once everything comes out, they lose their power. Okay? And that is why I do talk about things that I don't really want to talk about. You know? And this is why I had to stop with Madeleine McCann. I went so far, and then I started my documentary and I had to take a break. I will finish it. But it got too distressing. It really did. And this is dark stuff. So if we do another live tomorrow night, we'll do part 2. If I get time on Sunday, we'll try and do something lighter, you know.
And the energy they want more than anything is the energy of children before puberty. There is a chemical change, an energetic change that happens at puberty, which changes the nature of the energetic field as you move into adulthood.
They do things like using mantras and symbols and chanting and using specific numerology, specific dates, locations to invoke spirits, demons. And if you wonder why certain policies or actions from big corporations are very inhumane, then...
Guys, I don't know what this... Sertraline isn't popular since COVID. Sertraline's been around for like a donkey's years. I've been on sertraline for years, and I'm not turning into a flesh-eating monster. You know? So I'm just going to say that. I'm never going to begrudge people who have stuff because it helps them. Because it does. It helps. So, you know. And only you know. I'm not complete anti everything. Some people prefer to do, you know, to not take any medication. I don't know. I could stop taking it, but naturally I don't do any HRT because I'm at that age now where it's starting. I'm never going to take HRT. I'm dead against it. It's causing cancers and all sorts. I never took any of them dodgy jabs. I've not had a flu jab for about 10 years, maybe longer. What's the matter, George? So, and all my hormone stuff that I take is all natural. Everything is natural. All my vitamins are natural. But there's certain things that I will take medical, like my tablets. So, you know, if people don't agree with that, that's fine. But then each to their own. But when it comes to vitamins, I do think we need to cover synthetic vitamins, because that is another one that people are unknowingly putting into their bodies, thinking that it's doing them some good, when actually it's not. You want natural vitamins from food source, not from chemicals. Anyway, let's continue. So we're going to stop it around here, okay? And then we'll continue it tomorrow. I think tomorrow should be fine. It's better off doing it close together, isn't it?
You have to wonder, is it the human that is in control, or is it the demonic entities that are in their energy field? Everything is based in satanic ritual abuse. They need to lower the frequency as low as possible. So they use fear and despair. The spirits that come from another realm, it has to match that frequency, which is very low frequency.
What are you doing when you chant? And there's loads of these chants in this satanic ritual abuse. Vocal cords are vibrating, and the chant is turning that vibration into a particular frequency, so that what they're doing with the chants is they're creating a certain frequency field that the chant is there to elicit. The colors that they use, every color is a frequency of vibration. This is well known in mainstream science.
Can we start at the beginning and can you tell us the story of what's happened in your life from the very start?
Okay, what I can tell you is that before I started looking into my life, back in 1989, I was starting to have flashes of things, and my life was not what it seemed to be, which is why I started looking into it. And what I found out was that I had a lot of missing time, and a whole lot of missing time, as to what had occurred.
This lady here, I'm sure, is this the lady that disappeared, or am I thinking of somebody else? Anyone know if this lady disappeared? I'm sure she did. I'm sure she did. 1999 this was. Now, you know, David Icke, he didn't just come out of all this random shit one day. He actually, he does talk about this in some of his books as well, but he actually got this awakening. He literally one day, something just said to him, this is all bullcrap. And he actually went around the world and spoke to people. He didn't just sit there and just come out with all this nonsense that he just dreamt up. He went and spoke to like tribes, and we could also, if people are enjoying me reviewing this documentary, I've got no problem. We could do, I don't know, a weekly reviewing of some of his old stuff if you wanted. Not so much his new stuff, because he just repeats himself. Unity calling, hello, I was talking about you earlier. I was just saying that you know David, don't you? We're just reviewing his new documentary. But yeah, I don't want to knock anybody who's on medication. But like I say, everything should be, if you can do natural, great, do natural. Everything. Red clover is fantastic. If you're going through any hormonal changes, ladies, red clover is much better than taking soya, because soya, I don't like soya at all. No, it's full of estrogen. I do think that would benefit people if I start talking about all the concoctions that I take natural. So, you know, I take boswellia and turmeric for my arthritis and stuff like that. I do have to take medication as well, prescription, but I do take natural where I can. Okay, so Arizona Wilder, I think this lady, if I remember rightly, disappeared. Didn't take my medication or be sectioned. Well, Nikki, I'm with you, darling. No, I'm not that bad. But yeah, some people are. So it depends what you've got wrong with you, you know. I would be extremely OCD, put it that way, if I didn't take my sertraline. But I'm not ashamed to say that. It took me 20 years to admit it. I didn't tell anybody for 20 years. It was terrible. It wasn't just a bit of straightening up things. It was bad. Bad. It affected my life. So, you know. But anyway, we'll continue now.
In my life, and when I started looking into what had happened in my life, it was the only way that at the time that I knew, was to start.
Yeah, Unity Calling told him about me, about us, about the channels. How amazing is that? Bad Gambler says, "Oh, Bad Gambler, you're so cool." I can't show you comment. Why won't it let me show your comment? It's gone off the screen. But Bad Gambler says, I love you, Curious Bunny. You're cool as fuck. I need to go. It's been awesome. Will you take care, my friend? Thanks for joining us. And we'll be going for another half an hour. And it'll be left up for the replay. How are you, Nanny? You're not away? Oh, thank you. Did you? Oh my God. Do you know what? I would love to interview David Icke on here. He's doing a lot of podcasts at the moment. I don't think we're big enough for him at all. But I'm meeting him. Unity Calling. I'm going to see him live next month. So I'm going to try and talk to him. So yeah, when you mention me, don't mention Penny Bunny because that's my animal channel. I used to do all sorts on there. I don't know. Curious Bunny is the channel. Oh, well, thank you, mate. And Bad Gambler, thanks for joining me, bud. Have a good one, mate. Right, so we're going to watch some more. He does a lot of good. I find there's some of them silent migraines. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, take care, Bad Gambler, bud. Lots of love. And I might meet you on Monday morning on Mike Graham's show. Who knows? Right then, let's continue. Yeah, anyone know if this lady? I'm going to Google it.
You know, I've talked to people who've taken part in these rituals, often against their will.
Thanks, Bev.
They describe how the ritual is conducted in basically the same way as it was in places like Babylon, Mesopotamia, Egypt, in the ancient world.
Yeah.
Because it's designed to elicit a particular energetic outcome.
During these ceremonies, was Satan, the devil, ever referred to?
He was called Lucifer.
Right, I'm just going to read that out to you because sometimes this happens so quickly. You don't get to read it. This is from a 60 Minutes and it says Teresa, a 15-year-old British girl, giving an interview on the Australian television programme 60 Minutes Australia in 1989, detailing her alleged 12-year captivity in a satanic cult run by a grandmother. So I do think some of these little clips, this goes off too quickly. So, oh, poor girl. Again, these could be lying. They could be real. We just don't know, do we? But this girl does look more genuine. I think the older stuff, before people knew about this, it must have been so hard to come out and speak about this. I doubt they were lying. Now, people coming out with it, I wouldn't be so convinced. But in 1989, no one was talking about satanic cults. And ritual abuse, maybe in America with the satanic panic in the 70s and whatnot. But yeah, this poor girl, let's let her listen to what she says.
What did they say about the devil, about Lucifer?
That killing the people made him happy.
The boy disappears without a trace. At first, the police doesn't take it seriously and assumes he's just run away from home. But multiple witnesses repeatedly report that they've seen the boy, apparently hanging out with people involved in the scene of child pornography and child prostitution in the Netherlands. One of the suspects was arrested 2 years earlier for child trafficking, but was released because of a legal technicality. Another suspect later admits to bringing the boy over from Germany himself. Several underage East German boys who give statements to the police say they had been lured to the Netherlands under false pretenses. They were promised acting careers. It's possible the boy was also tricked into coming to the Netherlands this way. There are also several witnesses who claim that the boy's father, who was an agent of the Secret Service in the former East Germany, the Stasi, may have been involved in the disappearance. He's also mentioned in a well-known Dutch case file about a former high-profile pedophile network where he was allegedly involved in sadomasochistic practices. And he was reportedly seen multiple times at a known bar visited by pedophiles in Prague. According to several statements, a high-ranking Dutch official was also a regular visitor in that bar. The father, however, denies any involvement and is released after a brief interrogation.
When you consider violence or different forms of different faces, different aspects of violence, it always comes down to aggression and uncontrolled aggression. But in sport, we call it grinta. You need.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you there. I'm just reading the chat. Apologies. But Jane, Boswell or Boswheely, I don't know how you say it, and turmeric. Don't buy anything until I have put a short video out, okay? Because you want to buy, there's so many on Amazon and they're full of binders and fillers and rubbish. The one I buy has got both in. It's got turmeric and Boswellia or Boswella, I don't know. And it's all natural and there's no like nasties in there, and it's all organic and tested and everything else. It's made in the UK. And I'm going to make a little video and I'll put a link up as well. Because I'm a customer, you'll get, if I put my referral code in, you'll get a discount. I think I get £5 and you get £5. So you might as well use it if you're going to buy it anyway. Don't buy it for me, but if you're going to buy it anyway, you might as well get a discount. I'm going to put a little video out because that's what I use as well. I do think that would be worth you trying, but don't just buy anything because there's so many on Amazon and you just don't know if the levels are real. You want one that's third party tested and natural and, you know, not full of binders and all these synthetic crap they put in. So yeah, okay, so definitely something I will work on getting that out ASAP. And for those of you that are interested in me doing more David Icke, it will be his older stuff. And I say I have to stop it and review it and stuff. But yeah, there's so much older stuff that he's put back on YouTube that was removed before. So here we go.
You need some aggression. You need some alpha energy. You need some power to act, to create, to win. Because of the programming, due to parenting, due to education, due to schooling systems, we kind of have disconnected ourselves from our deepest aggression, deepest powers. And when we are disconnected, we're more, like we call it in stress psychology, we're fawning, we're more pleasing, we're not only fighting and flighting anymore or freezing. And that's how aggression may flourish in ourselves. Because when we are not allowing the inner powers, the inner positivity that is related to aggression, that the source of creation, we disconnect ourselves, then we will try to find, because in the end we need to survive. Where are we going to look for safety? Where are we going to look for protection? Where are we going to look for some guidance? So we need that. And when we don't develop that in ourselves, that's when the external locus of control kicks in. The locus of control that is externally, that we search for external guidance and protection, and that's how a lot of people live their lives. When people come to me with anger management issues, almost 9 out of 10 people, I have to re-educate them to say yes to their violence, inner violence, to say yes to their powers, to say yes to their anger, to say yes to their the reasons why they're angry. But we live in a society where our aggression, we have to suppress ourselves, our emotions, our feelings, our aggression. And we become numb, we become victims. But we're not victims, we're heroes to be.
Mengele came and he decided to send me to the left and Miriam, my twin, to the right, which meant I was supposed to go to the crematorium.
Right. Sorry, I just logged in and seen a message of somebody. Wasn't expecting that. Oh, Okay, right, sorry. This one says, Jonah Lax describing how World War II criminal Joseph Mengele kept her alive so he could do medical experiments on her as part of his research on twins. Extract item from the BBC. See what I mean? The Nazis were doing, what was I saying earlier? The Nazis were doing all this crap, and then the Americans brought them over after. It's like, what the hell? You couldn't make this up. Yeah, right. I'm going to message Brum and just check she's okay and let her know, because she might not have a notification. That's a big problem with this channel. That not everyone gets notifications. So, sorry, it's been a bit of a heavy one tonight. We're going to keep going till here, and then we'll do the rest tomorrow. Maybe just past here, because tomorrow we'll have a more at the end where I give a full summary, but we'll see how we're going.
My sister, my elder sister, Hannah, when she realized that, she bent down on her knees and begged. She did not know that that was Mengele, and we didn't know that name before. But she begged, she said, since we were twins and we have never been departed till now, she begs him to leave us together. And when Mengele heard that we were twins, and I had already been gone towards the crematorium, and I walked, and I got quite close to the crematorium. I could see the fire coming out through the chimneys. I could even feel the burnt flesh. Only then I began to realize that I am probably going to that place. But all of a sudden came an SS man and pulled me out of the line and brought me back to Mengele.
Programs like MK Ultra in America that...
No, I haven't seen this bit now. So we've already mentioned this, but I didn't even know it was going to bring up the actual program, MK Ultra. I haven't seen this. I watched up to here, so I knew what was coming. But this is new to me as well now, so I'm just letting you know. But David will be talking about MK Ultra now. I have messaged Brum Vixen. Oh my God, hang on a minute. She said she's forgot. I'm just gonna let her know it's okay. I'm still on, but if I'm still on, if you want to pop on. So Brum Vixen, we are thinking about you. Rose, just saying, okay, right. Yeah, so Rose, we miss you, Rose. Hit the like, guys, as well, please. It all helps. It really does help. Hopefully Rose will pop in. I think Rose does occasionally comment, but I know she's had a lot going on. Rose enjoys the garden streams. So we get back, last year there was a skip out there and stuff, and there was a lot of bad weather, and then it got too hot, so I didn't do that many garden streams, but hopefully this year there'll be more. So I need me gardener, basically.
The Nazis and people like Joseph Mengele, the angel of death in the concentration camps, they used this natural amnesic response to turn the minds of children. They really want to start it. There's a lot of technology used now, but they really wanted to start it before the age of 6, while the neuron pathways are still forming, so that they can rewire them. They start with the trauma. First of all, it's violence. It's finding out the child's worst fear and then making them experience it. If they're terrified of snakes, they'll put them in a pit of snakes. If they're terrified of spiders, they'll put them in a pit of spiders. They will make them, and my God, I've heard this from so many people, they will make them watch while an animal is sacrificed and cut to pieces alive. They will make them at the most extreme watch and experience human sacrifice. And at that point, these kids are so terrorized, they know these people that are telling them what to do and abusing them, they ain't kidding when they're saying, if you say anything, these are the consequences. Not just for you, for your parents as well.
It's my strong conviction that we're all traumatized. Can all be put on the trauma spectrum. We didn't learn to cope with it accurately, so that makes us a bit blind, because when you're not capable of dealing with something that you're suffering from, that makes you also blind when it happens outside of you. Trauma is a reaction to an event, and a reaction is always subjective. It's never generalized. So you cannot judge. Two persons can experience the same event, and one person can, let's say, cope it accurately, and the other might develop a trauma, which is mostly referred to as a post-traumatic stress disorder. We have the fight-flight response. So can I fight the situation? No. Correct. Then I will try to run away from the situation. If this is not possible, we will freeze. This is also what we see with animals. And when this is happening, we kind of shut off ourselves from our feelings. We disconnect from who we are. We disconnect from our identity. We disconnect from what is happening. We disconnect from where we are and who's with us. So we disconnect. That's a psychological defense mechanism that helps us to survive, to not fall dead. And the freezing is, of course, the third phase. And then when we kind of awaken a bit, then we start to fawn, we start to please. Probably have heard about the Stockholm syndrome, the syndrome that occurs when people who are being taken hostage fall in love with their perpetrator. This is like very difficult to understand. What motivates, what drives people to do that. Fawning can also lead to a kind of second nature. We kind of dissociate ourselves from the original experience, and we build a defense mechanism, and we build a new identity. And when the stress is only happens once, then we can kind of start with the coping. But when the stress continues and continues and never stops, we kind of give up being ourselves. So then there's a compartmentalization, difficult word, of ourselves, of our psyche, of our feeling. So it's like a puzzle that has been blown up, and all these different pieces are lying on the floor, and this is who we are. And sometimes we feel like we're connected with that part because we try to survive.
There's a mechanism in the brain that shuts out memories of extreme trauma. You'll notice that people that have a big road accident, a terrible road accident, or they're hit by a vehicle, happened to my mother, they remember up to a point, and then they remember waking up in hospital or whatever. But in between, when it actually happened, they overwhelmed.
We're getting on. So, oh, sugar! What
To
have
the
I just
summer,
pressed?
he'll be starting high
come
school.
on, man! I've just bloody took it back somewhere by mistake. My mistake. Okay, we were here. Yeah. So we are gonna stop at this mark here. Okay. I'm just going to read some chat out. I don't know what, I've pressed something now and I can only read half of the chat. I'm such an idiot. Honestly, I really am an idiot when it comes to this. Do you know, when I was at work in the office, I had a laptop with me all the time, or a desktop. I was great on a keyboard. Since just using my phone for everything, I'm useless on a keyboard now. Absolutely useless. Right, so I'm going to read some of this out. That's quite personal, so I won't read that out. I've missed a lot of this chat. Well, let's me read the last 3 messages. I've obviously pressed something, and I can't show the last ones. Can't disagree, Penny. I want to know if anyone can find this Arizona Wilder. Dandelion, hello, love. I want to know what's going on with her. Yeah, I do believe we found each other. Like, there's a group of people here that are very similar in different ways, you know. Some people might have had trauma, some people might have like disabilities and so on and so on, and we do seem to all have those similarities. Right, I'm just going to quick look through the chat now. We have a community, we do. Nick is here. Yes, Nick. My voice, yeah, it's starting to go again now. Blimey. Nick's one of the old guard. Gosh. Long time I've known Nick. Good to see. I was thinking about you the other day, actually. A lot of this stuff happens to the lady in Candy. Oh no, Bridget, but I'm just reading back on the comments here. Yes, thank you for liking, everybody. I appreciate you. Yeah, it was Stephen. Stephen says that the mind control was used by the government during the older COVID. It's very, very true, and they used what they call behavioural science, and it's been proven that it's a thing. It's a government department, and they actually been practicing this for years, and they didn't believe how good it was going to be. They were shocked that it works so well, basically, on the British public. Apparently the British public during the old plague were more obedient than any other country. They were completely nutty. Do you know what I think it was? I'm not going to lie. I think it was complete Brexit fatigue. Because when the Brexit vote, I don't want to talk about politics, but when it happened in 2016 and it dragged on, it's all it was for every single day for the next few years was Brexit, Brexit, Brexit. Do you remember? And then when the old plague happened, people were going, gosh, I'd love to go back to the days where all people talked about on the news was Brexit, because that was it. The last normal year was like 2019, where that was on the news. But then all this happened, and I think people were so fatigued and had enough, and all these boats were coming over, and they were just like, yeah, I can sit at home now and I can do nothing and get paid for it. My job will still pay me. And a lot of people say now they want it to happen again because they loved it. And I think that is how they control people so much. But well done to those of us who never fell for it, who never wore a mask, who never took the jab, and who were ridiculed. I've lost family over this. My cousin wouldn't talk to me because she's a teacher and she is pro-jab. And she said it was disgusting that I wouldn't have the jab, and I was pushing these, what she called conspiracy theorists, back in very early 2021, late 2020. Yeah, and me and her were really close, but, you know, she said it's not right that you're pushing this nonsense. MK Icke says, I was in China when it all started. Oh, really? You see, I was on this channel, showing video clips from Germany of empty morgues, proving that there wasn't bodies piling up. This was before it even got to here. I don't know how many of you were with me then, but this was around like January, February 2020 and December 2019 as well. But we were ridiculed. I was ridiculed. No one listened to me in my family. Everybody took it apart from me, Al, and there's no way they were touching my son. Everybody else took it. And they always say to me, I wish I'd listened to you now, Penny. I was like, well, what can you do? You'll laugh at me and call me a conspiracy theorist. I went fishing with my dog every day and watched the world go. Oh, really? Are you, you know when you say you're in China, are you Chinese or are you from another country visiting or just working there? Oh, Jane. Oh, I know, darling, I know. It's. I remember when Bev found me. Do you remember Bev, love? If you still hear Bev Berry, she said she took some and she wished she'd known as well. But the thing is, it wasn't just one person saying it. You had the news, you had the government, you had doctors, nurses. It was a complete mind control time. Everyone was just completely, I'm a Brit. Well done. Well done. Anyway, right, let's continue. Let's watch a little bit more of this.
When it actually happened, they overwhelmingly can't remember anything.
My back's starting to
This
get
is
really sore
because the mind brain puts an amnesic barrier around the memories of extreme trauma. Why? Because you don't want to keep experiencing it.
There are even studies conducted with patients with DID disorder, where they saw that there were different personalities, and each of these personalities had their own diseases. This, of course, directly, not indirectly, directly related to forms of violence, chronic forms of abuse.
MKUltra aims to develop techniques for modifying behavior through a combination of drugs, hypnosis, and sensory deprivation. The program sought to create a Manchurian candidate, an individual who could be programmatically controlled to carry out tasks or missions.
In terms of the Manchurian candidate, the idea is to use hypnosis, drugs, fear, terror to split off part of the mind. And then you can get control of that part of the mind separately, and that part of the mind can carry out missions.
What is happening with this trauma, which they make them experience, is the mind through the neuron pathways, but the mind is being compartmentalized into, like, imagine a honeycomb of self-contained compartments. And in the mind control trade, they call these alters, as in altered states of perception. And they create what they call in this industry a front alter. That is the personality that in the normal course of the life interacts with people and life. And not only that, that's the personality the child thinks they have. But behind the front alter are all these amnesic compartments.
Anyone watch the movie Split? This is all that's coming to mind. MK Icke, where did you find us? I've not seen you over here before. Did you find me from my other channel, from the politics channel? I did advertise this because there is a big crossover between what is happening right now in the UK, the politics side and all that shit, and this side, which is why I did advertise it over there. I'm hoping some people came over, but welcome to the channel. Anyone seen the movie Split? I think it's like you've got Glass, Split, and there's another one. There's like 3 of them. That film, honestly, if you haven't watched it, it's a few years old now. Where he's got these different, is it like 7 personalities? Is it, or 8? I can't remember. It's just a while back. Oh, well, thank you for joining us over here. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've got 3 channels. My main one is just for animals now. I used to cover different things over there. And since I stopped, I used to get thousands of views on my videos, and I don't now. But I don't really care. It's not about views for me. It's about keeping everything separate, because people were getting confused with all the different things. So I've got 3 different channels, and hopefully more animal people will come over to that one, and the people that enjoyed this sort of content will come over to this one, and the politics one. So Anyway, yeah, split, and he's got these different personalities. And in the last one, when he does get his last personality, he's actually physically stronger. I don't know if you guys have seen this movie, and apparently that can be true. These things can happen where you physically change because your personalities change and your physical body changes. That is how powerful the mind is. And they know this. It says black and white photos represent people involved in mass attacks. So I think what he's talking about now is like your patsies. So like you know, they can activate people. And again, this is not a conspiracy theory. It's been proven to be true. You can activate these people that have been traumatized to the point where their mind fractures, and the other side of their brain or whatever it is, that personality can be buried, and then it can be activated by a phone call or something with a certain word or a certain sound, and then these people can do whatever you want. And that's what a lot of people believe that happened with the Joe Cox killing, because the person who they got for it was never part of Britain First. He wasn't even right wing. And yet we're told that was a right-wing murder. But when you actually do your research, Richard D. Hall did some fantastic work on that. It looks... See, this is what I'm saying. The politics and the day-to-day stuff crosses over with this stuff because it's everywhere. It's literally... You can't believe anything now. I'm not saying that everything's a lie, but question everything is what I say. Question me, question David Icke, question everybody. Because I do. I question him. I don't think he's right about everything at all. And I'll explain more at the end on why I think that.
What we call the subconscious.
Oh, thank you,
The consciousness leaves the body. And
more
the
true crime I wanna
memories are
cover as
so
well.
intense that it is stored in a compartment separate in the brain that can be activated by a certain trigger. Can be a word, can be a smell, a sound, music, and then that memory comes to the forefront. But this is a technique. I mean, it's a natural response on severe trauma for self-preservation.
I have sat in a therapist's front room, and in front of me was a woman, her name was Carol, I remember that. And she was in her 30s, and her medical history for a 30-year-old was absolutely unbelievable because of all the abuse and violence she'd suffered. And I watched this lady, this therapist, who had worked with Carol for a long time. And she'd started to elicit the codes bit by bit by bit, painstakingly, that were activating the different alters compartments.
Wow.
And I sat there while Carol was sitting on the sofa and becoming a stream of totally different personalities just by the codes that the therapist was giving her. So I saw a baby coming out of this 13-year-old, acting like a baby. I saw someone who was terrified. And I saw someone in this, she was a lovely lady, Carol. I saw someone come out of her, the personality, the way she suddenly acted when the codes were given, who was so fricking evil.
He also was put in an insulin coma for 36 days with a recording beside him saying that your mother hates you over and over and over and over and over.
Well, there's a lot I could not remember after I got out of the Allen. When my family came, I was a zombie. I didn't even know who they were.
So these compartments, for instance, can be then programmed with instructions, say, to assassinate someone or to go crazy with guns in a school in America. The whole modus operandi is fear. So you'll have people in the Netherlands, in the elite running the country, who will have subordinates below them, who will do what they're told. But those running the Netherlands, like those running Britain, like those running America, will be terrified of the levels above them into the cult inner core. And the cult inner core will be terrified of the gods in another dimension. The whole thing is based on fear. What is the currency of control of humans? In general, it's fear. Part of this system is to bring a back altar to the front, to be abused by the rich and famous who they would otherwise recognize, and then put the temporary front altar, the abused altar, back into the subconscious. Front altar comes forward. Front altar has no idea it's been abused. None.
Put the meat back out.
I've met people in America who thought they were virgins when they got married. And when eventually the compartment started to break down, they realized that they had been sexually abused by men, often rich and famous, since they were kids. The scale of the abuse stays hidden, because even a lot of the people who have been abused don't remember until the altars start to break down. To explain the origin of all this and where it came.
Right, it says here, so extract sacrifice ritual in early medieval times in the Netherlands, portrayed in the Dutch film Rebad. You've got to remember as well what David Icke's talking about here is, like paganism. Before all of these religions, anyone that tells you that, like Alex Phillips lately is obsessed with Israel and Judaism. I just want to say that and talk to me. She's supposed to be a Christian, but all she does is talks about Israel and Judaism. She said the other day that Judaism was the world's oldest religion. That is a lie. It's an out and out lie. Hinduism is the oldest religion, but even before that, paganism. Now, you go back to all these ancient gods and these ancient religions and pagans, it was all paganism. Whether it was the Greeks, that was a type of paganism, whether it was the Celts, all over the world, they were all the same gods. And before all of these organised religions now, they were all the same gods. And I'm a Christian, but I'm very open-minded. And I fully believe that all of these gods exist. I do believe there is one God above everything. But I do believe, you can hear a noise, it's George having a wash. He sounds really weird. He goes, so if you can hear that, it's just George. So there are all these other gods. And, I'm not saying I'm right, but this is what I believe. And the pagans had, across the world, if you want to call them pagans or whatever, they all worshipped different gods. But they were all the same, really, with different names. And they did all these sacrifices and all these rituals, and they left gifts there. It's like the Christmas tree, really, I should have covered this more at Christmas if I wasn't so bloody ill. But you think about the Christmas tree. What has a Christmas tree got to do with the birth of Jesus Christ? Absolutely nothing. The Christmas tree and leaving gifts under the tree is a pagan ritual. That's what we're doing. We are offering gifts to the gods, because pagans would leave things. Like there's a monolith near me, as many of you are aware. I've been there and I've videoed there. When we went in spring once, early spring in March, there was gifts. The children had painted little stones and there was stuff there. And people leave gifts for the gods. And that's what Christmas is. You look at it like, fair enough, Jesus wasn't really born on 25th of December. That's admittedly made up because no one knows when he was born. right? Nobody knows. So they just chose a day that coincided with a ritual in the pagan calendar, which is what majority of Christianity is. It takes from the pagan calendar, but that's a different topic. But it's all about, it all goes back to rituals and giving to the gods and taking from the gods. Now, whether these gods are real or not, the people that are doing this sort of stuff believe they are real. And that is where all of this comes back to. I personally believe that they are real. And I do believe that all of this, most of the stuff in this documentary so far is correct. But what is showing here is ritual in early medieval times in the Netherlands. They've discovered all this is real. They've found animal bones and, you know, around things that show that they were sacrificing animals and they were giving these gifts to the gods. So everything in here so far, apart from the Hampstead thing, which I'm not sure about, it's been apparently debunked, but you know, who knows? He's been spot on so far, but we're going to stop it shortly when he's finished this bit now, and then we're going to continue it tomorrow. So thanks for there's still 36 here. We peaked at 45. Thank you for those of you that are stuck with me. Appreciate it. It might come on a bit earlier tomorrow, we'll see.
We really have to enter the land well beyond, enormously beyond, where most people are willing to go. Let's just do a bit of background here on the basic physics of this reality. When you look through your eyes, you are seeing a tiny, almost laughably narrow band of what exists in the space you're looking at. Science calls it visible light. Let's put that into perspective. According to mainstream science, the electromagnetic spectrum, which is basically our experienced reality, is 0.005% of what exists in the universe in terms of energy.
Right, I'm going to stop there because this is a really important bit that I want to... George has started knocking on the door now, so I need to go and see what he wants. All right, Al's here now. But I do want to stop there anyway, because I think that what David's going to talk about, now is really, really interesting. And he's been speaking about this for years and years. Hello, Terry Knowles Band again. And it's frequencies. We only see and hear in a certain tiny little minuscule fraction of what is going on. And it's true. And this second half, I'm hoping, because I haven't seen this second half, I'm hoping he's going to get into that a bit more. Because it's like, if you look at an animal, for example, a tortoise lives till like 100 years old, maybe older. They will perceive time differently. You look at dogs, apparently they only see in black and white, apparently. You know, all these different animals, different species perceive things. They see things differently. They hear things. You've got whales and they hear frequencies that we don't hear. So just because you can't hear or see something doesn't mean it's not there. And just because something perceives things faster or slower doesn't mean that you're right and they're wrong. All of these things are going on around us all the time, but we only see and hear what we're allowed to as our species. It's like the internet. You can't see the internet. You can't see a phone call. You can't see anything. It's there, but you can't see it. And that is what I'm hoping David Icke will get into on part 2. But I hope you guys have enjoyed it. So I'm just going to check. We're on 44:20. So tomorrow we're going to hear the second half, and I'm going to give my summing up at the end. So I'm just going to close that off a sec. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you like. I've got this new software, so I've been making like. Did he have a wee? Oh, if he didn't have a wee, it means he didn't have a walk. Yeah, so I'm been buying this new technology and stuff and software and that. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the thumbnails and stuff. I'm just checking the chat, see if anything's here. Good to see you, Terry Knowles. Bridget Blaine, it's mostly women and children that have been abused throughout history. Sorry, you good guys, but it's true. There are boys as well, though, but you need good guys to stand up and tell it abuse. The thing is, I know, Brum Vixen, you're all right, sweetheart. I dropped you a message because I wasn't sure if either A, you were busy or poorly, or B, YouTube hadn't sent you a notification. It is heavy stuff. Thanks for joining me, Steve. It is heavy, it really is, but you know, I think what I might try and go a little bit earlier tomorrow. I'm told if I unsubscribe and resubscribe, I'll get the notification. Did you not get one? You can try it. It is tough, and it is something we need to listen to. But yeah, I will do something about this natural anti-inflammatories to help your back, Jane, and anybody else who's suffering. 40 likes, thank you very much for the likes, thank you for the super duper chat. I think I will put memberships back on at a very low price. Yeah, I think I'll do that, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it, unless David Icke decides to strike me, though I would fight it because I have been giving commentary throughout, but if he does, I will fight it. But if he doesn't, I'll be back for tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. Yeah, well, my scan showed up a lot of inflammation in my knee and my back, and that's with turmeric. Yeah, Gary was back. Gary the dinghy diver. Some of you may or may not remember Gary from the good old days. But Gary, you remember Gary? Oh, my back, ow. I take turmeric. Right, thank you so much, everyone, for joining me tonight. This will be left up for those of you that want to catch it on the replay. Big up the replay crew. Hit the like, guys, if you don't mind. It's free. And I'll pop the memberships on. If anybody wants to help out, you can. It'll be 99p. So, yeah. You're right, Momo. My Mo. Momo's here. What's the matter? You okay? Momo Dag. Oh, he wants some strokes. Oh, Momo. All right then, guys, you take care. About getting him. I would love to get him on. I would love to. Unity Collins lives on the Isle of Wight, and he did give David the link to this stream. So David Icke, if you're watching, it will be. I'm going to see you next month. Put it this way, guys, I will be there plugging and asking if he would come on this channel, because lately David Icke has been doing a lot of podcasts. I don't know if you've been watching. He uploads clips on his channel on YouTube. He's been doing a lot of podcasts and he's been doing the rounds, and so far every single podcaster, Joey Barton was the worst. Joey Barton, he's on Joey Barton the footballer's channel, right? All they do is talk over him. They are so rude. They interrupt him and bug him. Jason Burmas had him on. Remember him? He worked for Rebel Media years ago. Just bugged him. So, I won't do that. David Icke, I will ask you very nice, genuine questions. I won't try and trap you and catch you out, and I'll let you answer. I won't interrupt you. So let's see. Anyway, guys, you take care. All being well, we'll be back tomorrow. If not, it'll be Sunday, but it will be this weekend. We'll get part 2 done. And watch this space for next week. Anyway, you guys take care. Good night. God bless. Don't have nightmares, guys. Remember, this information is being put out there, but don't let it affect your life right now, okay? Knowledge is key, but do not get into a doom and gloom mindset, because that is what they want. They want you down and depressed, and it gives away your low frequencies. Try and keep positive, and we're doing this in a way that is awakening people but not making people depressed, because we are a group, we're a community, and we all get on. And if we don't get on, then we agree to disagree. Right, good night, guys. God bless. Take care, and I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.